Trojan Pleasure Pack, Fire and Ice, Ultra Ribbed, Twisted, sounds dangerous. All these choices, and y'all still choose to go into people raw. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I am Darla and you are tuned into TheThirtyJourney. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. So this video is definitely gonna be a good one. I am very excited to talk about this topic because celibacy is something that has been a part of my life for a few, well, I won't say a few, but a couple of years now, and abstinence has been a part of my life for a very long time. I have so many great things that I want to share with you that are so important on this walk, because a lot of times a lot of people don't understand the vow that you're taking to be celibate. They don't realize that it is beyond just not having sex. Okay, I won't say that not having sex is not of importance on this journey, but it's not as important as a lot of people think that it is. For those who have been on this walk and are on this walk, if you're thinking about going on this walk, I really hope this video inspires you. But as you guys know, when I bring you things and I share my perspectives and opinions, it's not me saying that this is something you should do, like you better do it or anything like that. Like, you are on your journey, you have your own cross to bear. God gave you free will, so who am I to say, you know, choose this or do this or anything like that? So I just want to share what has been given to me with you guys, so that way it may, you know, spark something within you. So let's get on into this video. So in our community, one thing that we really don't talk a lot about is being celibate. Oddly enough, there was no one in my family that was pushing this to me. There was nobody in my family that was like, save yourself for marriage. This was obviously something that we heard in the church, but there was still no explanation to why. You have people that created you that that had sex out of wedlock, but did not, you know, really push it to you, and usually it's because they decided, you know, this ain't what I'm doing, so I can't tell my child to do that when I'm not living that life, and which is understandable. So for me, like I said, I was abstinent for as long as I've been single, and that wasn't always by choice, because it was by choice, but it wasn't. And here's what I mean. So when I would be in, you know, situationships, dating, getting to know people, and it would be leading up to possibly being in a relationship with these people or this person, I would be like, somebody gonna get me some. Hey, it's all gonna get her some. I would be really prepared to really be, you know, intimate with my significant other. My thing was, I would only have sex when I was in an actual monogamous relationship. That was just one of my rules. And this was something I pretty much did ever since I started having sex. I was a late bloomer because, believe it or not, I really wanted to save myself for marriage. Like, I didn't want to have sex without being married. That was just one of those things. But in the beginning, it was based more so out of fear than it was about, you know, really serving God and having a legitimate reason to why, which is obviously why I didn't stick to it. So when I was younger, me wanting to save myself for marriage was something that I kind of just had on my heart. I really don't remember too much about the big reason to why it was so important to me, outside of I knew this was something that God wanted me to do. I didn't really know the other connections within it to why I made that decision. Like, it was really a lot of fear that was based in it, because, you know, I didn't want to have a child out of wedlock, and you know, and things like that. I didn't want to be a baby mama. Like, I did not want those things for my life. However, when I did start having sex, I was making decisions that could possibly lead to something like that. But when I would be in relationships, one thing that I didn't always do was protect myself, and I didn't always have him protect himself. And honestly, that is not anything I am proud of at all. It took a while before I actually woke up and was like, don't you ever put your life in the hands of someone else again. There are so many things in this life that we cannot control. That is one thing that we can. And I really started to wake up in that sense years ago. But it was really after maybe a few years of having sex unprotected that I realized. And I thank God for being the God that He is to me. I did not have to reap a bad consequence outside of some of the ones I'm going to get into, but of, you know, having unprotected sex, because nothing about that is safe. I definitely woke up in that aspect, which is why I'm such an advocate for really bringing awareness to topics like these and just kind of having conversations. And I'm just happy that I'm on a platform now where I can have these open conversations with you guys and tell you guys the importance of it, because it is extremely important. So if you are having sex now, I advise you today to really make the commitment to at least start protecting yourself if you are. One thing that is extremely interesting to me when it came to people having conversations about this and celebrities actually putting that information out there, that was something that they're doing. And of course we know about Megan Good and Devon Franklin, we know about, you know, Ciara and Russell Wilson, and just people on a platform. One thing that was extremely interesting to me was the fact that when Ciara decided to put that information out there, I remember so many people calling him gay. I remember so many people saying things about, you know, her and how now you want to get your life together after you done had a baby with Future, and you know, a bunch of negative comments that came with her walk. Now it's funny that people are idolizing their relationship. And they're like, girl, sis, what did you pray for? What was the prayer, sis? Like, oh my gosh, like, they are goals. And this was the same people that y'all were bashing about taking this walk. And now you want to know the prayer, you want to know the recipe. That's why you cannot put your time and energy into people and their negativity, because I kid you not, first they criticize, then they idolize. So you will definitely have people in your life that'll be like, girl, why are you doing this? Like, you're not gonna be able to find no man, and you're not gonna be able to do this and do that. And my response to that is usually always the same. And first of all, you're worried about the wrong thing, because me doing what I want to do and what I feel I should do for my life and my body is all on me. Who reaps the consequences of what I choose to do for my life? Me. In no way, shape, or form does me not busting it open affect you. So when you have people in your life that are concerned about why you decide to do this, if you decide to express that to them, just understand that you're going to have to deal with some backlash and negative comments and people, you know, putting their 2 cents out there that was not asked or required. And it's just interesting to me when things like that happen. But I mean, that's the world that we live in. I'm just personally aware of what sex entails, and it's not just a physical act. It never has been. I started to understand that sex was deeper than just a physical act, way deeper than a physical act. I hope y'all know there's some stuff that comes with having sex with multiple people, with having sex unprotected. I mean, that's the obvious, but just having sex in general and giving that part of yourself to another. There's definitely a reason why, you know, I believe that God puts so much emphasis on not doing this before being married. And I do believe that sex was created for married people. There's so many things to prove that. There's so many things to back that up. That's not what I'm here for. You know, figure out these things for yourself and understand these things for yourself. My thing is, like, you can't want my body without wanting me. Like, you have to take all of me. You can't just want what you see as opposed to what comes with it, which is another reason why I don't focus a lot on what people say as far as my physical attributes. I'm very grateful. Trust me, I'm so grateful when people are like, you're so beautiful, you're so this, or whatever, when it comes to complimenting me about physical attributes. However, I know that as a woman, I'm so much greater than just what you see. And that is because my entire life, I've taken the time to work on what's going on inside of me as opposed to just what people see. And a lot of people do that. That's to each his own. Like, you do whatever you want to do in your life for you. However, I know the importance of what it means to transcend after this goes away. So for me to get to know someone on a level that is beyond just what they see, and that's the thing that's going to make me love you years on years beyond just sex. It's like, what would happen if you had sex after finally getting to know each other? At the very least, if you get nothing from this video, why not even just start there? Like, why not take the time to get to know someone prior to having sex with them and see if it's even worth having sex with them? Because you're basing a lot of things off of physical connections and things like that. Feelings are fleeting. Even though we may have a connection, you know, a meeting of the minds, if you will, at one point in time, give it time. If you really are dedicated to, you know, really getting to know someone and being with someone, you're not putting time on the radar right now, because you know that it's deeper than that. The connection is deeper than that. So this is gonna go beyond that. So why not take the time to actually get to know someone a little bit better and see where it goes first? See if you're still that attracted to them. Because people who have sex, you know, on the first date and things like that, I mean, like I said, do you. However, me, always been about physical and mental attraction for me. Your physical is not going to keep me. It never has, never will. I think there's a reason why, you know, so many people, you know, after so many years, like a lot of time, all they have is sex. All they have is their children. All they have is what was, as opposed to what is and what could be. I think that if we really started to realize and start to learn people and learn their issues, like learn how they are when they're mad, like then you would know who you were having sex with prior to having a child for them or having a child with them. It's like those things, I don't know, it's just like the lust and the things that come with that always take the front seat when it comes to people and their interactions with each other. With that being said, a lot of people confuse sex with love, or better yet, a lot of people confuse good sex with love. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, because a lot of times what will end up happening is both of you are only there for the sex. I've seen so many people in so many situations where they're like, you know, I don't really like the girl, or I don't really like the dude, but he's good at that, or she, you know, does this. And it's just so many of those toxic things, and a lot of people wonder why they're in some of the situations that they're in and can't escape from. A lot of times it is a soul tie. A lot of times it is really messed up mindsets when it comes to things like this, and we have to do better as a community. We have to do better as people, because we cannot continue to repeat the same cycle. We have to know that there are generational curses involved in the choices that we make. We have to continue to learn how to break them. So sexual discipline is at an all-time low right now. It is something that people really cannot seem to get a grasp on, and I think for me, I think the reasoning is because they don't know the true benefits of it. They don't know what comes with it, or even why they should be doing it. One thing that I want to say for me, and me being led to be, you know, celibate and be on this walk, was the fact that, like I said, God came for me. I was just like, God, I'm already abstinent, you know, outside of, you know, relationships and things like that, and I don't really engage in having sex with just anybody. So I'm good. You know, I could, you know, be in a relationship and, you know, do some things. Like, it's, you know, I'm at least not doing this prior to getting to know the person. I was like, no, I need more. And I'm just like, really? Are you coming for me when it comes to that? So being sexually disciplined, it was not always easy. I would say, even though I kind of had this mindset that was something that was important to me and I wanted to do, it was deeper than that for me. It was definitely something that God wanted from me wholeheartedly, because you know what? In it was things that I couldn't see. It could have been me falling for someone who, you know, was not right for me at all. Marrying this person and taking on so many different things from them that I had no idea that I would be taking on. It could be so many different things wrapped up into why God wanted me to be abstinent and celibate. And even though I don't know all of the things, I know all of the things that I'm being shown before me because of it. I know that there was something that happened to me, you know, one of those things I tell you all the time, like supernatural stuff happens to me all the time, and it always happens out of nowhere, and it's beautiful. Honestly, it really is. It solidifies so many things for me. So when this particular thing happened, and I can't wait to share it with my husband, it really allowed me to see that you're not doing this for nothing. This is not in vain. You're not giving this of yourself for no reason. And I think for those who are on this walk and have been on this walk, if God has not made that clear to you already, if that is, you know, the way that you're actually going about your journey, I promise you he will, because it came out of nowhere. I really was not expecting anything of what happened to happen. And I'm really grateful for it, because there are times where I'm like, I don't know why I'm really doing this at times. Like, am I really doing this for the right reason? Just the fact that I actually love Christ and I love God. And to love Christ is to love God. So for me, that is more than enough. Even when I lose sight of it, it is really more than enough reason for me to do this. But even within that, God continues to give me gifts and wisdom to be able to continue to go on this journey and know why I'm doing this. So one of the things that God continues to do for me when it comes to really following him on this walk is it gets easier. I'm not gonna say it's always easy, but it does get easy. A lot of times I find myself thinking like, dang, I don't even be, you know, feeling them feelings. And it's funny because I got a little worried at one point in time. I'm like, okay, Lord, when my husband do come, I'm gonna be good, right? This was one of the things I had to bring to God, because I was like, wait, hold up. I need to know that I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm trying to get some stuff out. You know, I'm trying to. And it was funny because, like I said, there was something supernatural that happened to me as well that kind of solidified that you'll be fine, but my sexual desires don't go away. However, being in, you know, situations of being surrounded by lust, or, you know, having those moments where it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it tonight, I might need to do some things, or, you know, situations like that, those rarely ever happen. So it really feels good to really be at that point in my life where, you know, I'm very comfortable where I am. However, I already know that I have not been in a relationship since I made this commitment. So to not be in a relationship, you know, all this time and then be with someone, of course, I'm going to want to give that of myself. So that's why I know I need to make sure that I'm taking the time to really know why I'm making this commitment. So when that wonderful man comes along, I know that I'm just not going to be like, all right, take me. You know, and I can really, you know, withhold what I have until that time. So one thing I do want you guys to know as well when it comes to making this commitment is to understand that this is not for nothing. It is, like I said, and I keep saying, sex, you know, is beyond just a physical act. Withholding and abstaining from having it, understand, guys, that there are so many powerful things that are within this. Understand that you not giving into this is greater than you would ever imagine. Especially, and I want to talk to black men right now. Y'all don't know y'all power. That's another video for another day. But I really want to say to you that you abstaining in this way, which is basically kind of like a fast, and not giving that part of yourself and becoming disciplined in this, it's a difference. Let's be real. It's a difference from men who just don't get any to men who is being thrown at left and right. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Men who abstain from that and take the vow and commitment to abstain from not having sex, when I tell you, you are going to reach a level that you probably will not even understand how you even got there. Like, it is so powerful to be abstaining from something that you really, really want, but being disciplined enough not to do it. That opens the door for so many things in your life that you will see manifest right before you. The same goes for women, but there's something in this more so for men, especially black men right now. I really want to stress that. And I'm not going to go too much into detail into this, but I want you to look into this for yourself and realize that it is once again beyond just a sexual act. I really want you guys to know this for yourselves. And ladies, trust me, once again, you are a daughter of a king. He would not have, if this has been placed on your heart in any way, shape, or form, understand that he would not have you doing this and making this commitment for nothing. If it has been placed on your heart that this is something that you want to aspire to do or that you should do, you need to go for it. That's just all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just say, and this is not for everybody. Everybody's story will not be this way, which is fine. However, be true to yourself. It's not even about being grown and being out here. I'm grown. It has nothing to do with it. Being true to yourself and understanding why you're doing this is the key. Intent, I'm telling you, the universe works off of intention, which is why I never just wanted to make a decision. Even if I did just make a decision to do this, that is my life, my choice. However, I know that just making a decision does not give me something deeply rooted and concrete to live and do this and commit to this as much as it would mean if I was led to do it. So I know that God placed this on my heart, like I said, for a reason. I'm really thankful that God placed this on my heart for me to do. I probably wouldn't have said that 2 years ago, but I really am. I really, really am, because there's so many things in my life that I just see, like I say all the time, manifest right before my eyes when it comes to this. And women, y'all have to realize something. I've known for years that love was beyond just what was being shown to me in some of the relationships that I was in. And I know that just being loved and admired by someone and having a few good times here and there, it just wasn't enough for me. But not even just because of them. And I don't want to take anything away from my ex-boyfriends and things like that. But I want to be honest and say that I had things to work on within myself. I had things that I had to understand more about myself so that I was able to receive and know true love when it hit me in my face. People around me know that I say I don't feel like I've ever really been in love. I thought I was. I thought when I was in certain relationships that I was in love with them. And that's not to say I didn't love them, but I don't believe that I've ever been in love. And that is because I know that being in love with someone was deeper than what I ever experienced. And God made that known to me as well, oddly enough, for Valentine's. Well, it was a little bit before Valentine's Day this year. I ended up reading the Song of Songs, or the Songs of Solomon in some. And that particular book really expressed to me what love really is. And that to me was a clear indication of what I couldn't explain to people for years. Like I would say, I know love is, and it's just not what I've experienced. I would always say things like that. I know it was deeper than that. So I know what it looks like, I know what it feels like. And when it does come to me, I will have a clear indication on what that really is and what that really means. So I do want to stress that to you guys as well, because I know that there's some people that feel like that they might not receive the love that they truly, truly want and that they truly, truly desire. And I can't wait till I come back and tell y'all, see, I told you. This is another reason why I know God wants me to make sure that I'm kind of documenting this walk, because it will make for a great story. And when it comes to sex, believe that there are things that are intertwined into that you will not fully understand until you connect with your creator. So, to both men and women, there to me is no greater gift than discipline and power. Celibacy, I'm just surprised sometimes at some of the stuff that I'm able to do. I'm just like, who am I? I remember saying for years how I wanted to be basically the person that I am now and that I'm aspiring to be. So in taking on certain things like celibacy and just things that I may give up throughout the year and just all these different things and being so disciplined and some of the things that I do, and just looking back at how I know that was not my life years ago. That was not my life a year ago. That was not my life 2 years ago. There was always progression, but just the fact that I am where I am now is such a beautiful feeling. And I know that is some of the benefits of me abstaining from what I'm abstaining. I want to let y'all know that there are going to be people that are going to ask you, so you get married, right? And what if the sex is bad? That question always is like, so for me, when it comes to questions like that, it's like, why are we putting sex all the way up here? Like, why is it? It's very important. Sex is a gift from God. So we know that there's a real importance when it comes to sex in a relationship or sex in a marriage. That is extremely important. However, when we think about when we first started having sex, for us who have already had sex, there may be virgins watching, which you're awesome. I want to say a lot of times, I know some will probably say they was, out the gate just pop, 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 and they were just great at what they did. You probably weren't. But I know that's how you feel. However, let me tell you the truth. You was trash. I would hope that there was some progression. I would hope that there were things that got better. But my point to that is, when it comes to starting off something and continuing to grow, there's room to grow. And when it comes to being in a relationship and a marriage, you are getting to know each other on a whole nother level now. So you've gotten to know each other mentally, you got to know each other's ins and outs and what makes you mad, and a lot of things that are extremely important. When it comes to growing and learning each other on another level physically, that is a whole nother task. That is a whole nother beast to tackle, which is exciting. So why would that not be something you want to look forward to? Why do we put a notation on that like it's something that, oh my gosh, like if it's not great the first time, then oh my gosh. Like, why do people do that? Of course you want it to be. Like, you've been waiting up to this point. You want it to be great, but that's not something that you would not be able to grow in. See, me, I look forward to that. I look forward to exploring my husband's body and finding the things that makes him go crazy, that makes him feel so good, that only his wife is able to provide for him. And a lot of times, and of course, I want him to, explore me, which I know he will. But anyway, so why, when it comes to things like this, like, why don't we think that that is going to be something to look forward to? Like, of course, when you were in a relationship with somebody before, if you were already having sex, you were learning more about each other. And I know that there are people that you say that were trash and things like that. That's because you didn't love them. That's because you didn't take the time to want to learn each other and learn each other's ins and outs and figure out what it was that turned them on and made them, feel really good. And, all those different things like that. Like, that's stuff you should want to look forward to. Like, that's not something you want to go into and say, you know what, if it's bad, then I wasted my time. Then that lets me know you were focused on this more than you were focused on me as a person. But I really look forward to exploring so many parts of my future husband and him exploring so many parts of me, and us just kind of coming together and, making some magic. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This video is really a very small taste of my walk and my journey. If you guys want me to go a little bit deeper, you would have to let me know, so hit me up in the comments. So I'm also linking a few videos, guys, to help you on this walk that are so encouraging and that are really, really awesome, and kind of giving a little bit more clarity onto why this is important. And I plan on being on YouTube for a little while, so there's definitely more time to get into things like this, but I did want to give you guys a little bit on this and why this is such a beautiful walk, and why, you know, I encourage people to do this. Like I said, I'm just offering my perspectives and my opinions. This is not anything that I say that, you know, you have to do or anything like that, but this is something that has given me so many great things, and I've received so many great blessings from it. And this is just the beginning. So I hope you guys once again truly enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear your comments. I'm always welcoming positive feedback, so please be sure to leave me a comment below. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. On Instagram, I am at TheThirtyJourney.co. On my blog is TheThirtyJourney.co. And guys, please be blessed. I hope you guys once again were inspired and blessed by this video. Peace.